Have you ever wondered how Mr. GCHS was started, or who won the very first competition? Since the start, Mr. GCHS has been a fun spring event to kick off the end of the semester. Mr. GCHS started in the year 2000 in order to raise money for prom and continued annually until 2003. After 2 years of being canceled, it started back up again in 2005 and has continued ever since. The show started off as a competition between freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors until in the year 2012. Since then, it has changed so that only juniors and seniors compete for the title. The contestants work for weeks in advance coming up with their dance routines, skits, and a bunch of other things to try and show the crowd why they should be Mr. GCHS. Unlike the student voting we have today, when the competition first started, captains of the cheer and palms team judged the guys. Now that you have a little background information on the contest, here's the man who started it all, Mr. Cherico.
Probably there's a favorite part, it's the dances, the actual part, because the creativity that goes into that, or when we come up with a really good segment, but the whole thing is when, when people just are on the days leading up to it, when the people are together and they're working really hard and everybody is doing exactly what needs to be done and spending so much extra time to help people out, I think it's the coolest thing in the world.
So what are your hopes for Mr. GCHS in the future?
You know what, number one, that it just continues to be entertaining and well attended, because I think it's a payoff for the PSP students that work so hard during the year. This is something that they can do fun, that everybody sees, and they can be something really proud of at the end of the time. And I think for us, it's kind of the unofficial end to our year, and so I want it to continue to be special and something that they're very proud of. Okay, we always talk about making moments and making things special, and I definitely think it can be a memory. I want that people, whether you're a candidate or worked it, I want it to be something that you feel like you can pour your heart and soul into.
The show was held in the theater right by the main entrance, but back when it first began, it was held in the big gym because before the wrestling room was built, there used to be a stage in the gym. Mr. Santella was one of the very first contestants who had to perform in the gym, and he must have done a good job because he was the first Mr. GCHS winner. Here he is answering a few of our questions about what it was like being the first Mr. GCHS.
So, Santella, what was it like winning the very first Mr. GCHS competition?
It was pretty cool. We had literally no clue really what it was. Mm-hmm. I mean, we knew what it was, but we didn't know.
This was brand new.
It was brand new. It was the first time they ever did it.
Right.
So, yeah, it was something we weren't really sure what to do. They kind of gave us there's going to be some questions and answers. There's going to be a talent portion, and the way they did it then was I think it was 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 4 juniors, 4 seniors,
mm-hmm.
and we were sophomores. And we were the only group that was smart enough to, we got some of our cheer palms friends to do a mixtape or a mix song, and choreographed it, and we danced to it with an actual dance. So it was pretty fun, and I think that helped us get a lot of points, for that. And then I think my questions, I just answered the questions kind of goofy, and it worked. And the teachers judged that.
What's your favorite memory from Mr. GCHS?
I think winning it was a lot of fun, kind of getting the win. But it was just a lot of fun because it ended up being, I think there was 4 or 5, I don't remember how many kids, but it was most of my good friends and I all made it. So we were able to just build that bond and hang out, and we were, I think, more comfortable with each other to do that.
The most influential year of Mr. GCHS was 2009. The dance component changed from an actual choreographed dance to a collection of a set of scenes. The idea of cameos was also introduced when Andrew Weinert brought his dad on stage. Ever since, many contestants regularly bring outside people on stage. Kevin Reynolds also made a video professing his love for Guido, which introduced the idea of pre-made videos in Mr. GCHS. 2009 truly revolutionized the competition.
2014 was also another year that changed Mr. GCHS. Senior and PS peer Paige Vaughn's rant about how Mr. GCHS is the same every year transformed the way people thought about the show. This started the push for new skits every year, began the first duo skit, and the first group skit with every contestant from a single class. With technology and trends constantly changing, the show transforms along with it.
Since the start, Mr. GCHS is a fun event for the school which gives people a way to showcase their funniest and most talented class members.